What's up, guys? It's your boy Barca Boy 103. Just finished watching the match, and Barcelona beat Como 5-0 at the Estadio de Johan Cruyff. Fantastic match by the boys. I do want to discuss the whole entire event as a whole and share you guys my thoughts and my analysis. I, of course, did not do a live stream out in the middle of Africa here, so we're still grinding though. And firstly, for the presentations, Rooney Bargi getting number 19, so he's probably already a first team player, which is quite surprised that they've chosen to do that this early on. So I think that's an okay decision. I think it's a bit premature, but he's done well in preseason, so I don't mind that. Of course, with the departure of Inigo Martinez, it looks like that was a decision on the players' half. That had nothing to do with Barcelona whatsoever, but Barcelona, of course, is out there the move. Cubarsí getting number 5, of course, the former defender Carlos Puyol wearing that, of course, Cubarsí's idol as well. That's nice to see, but the big talking point is around the captain, Ter Stegen, who was a bit of a twat and then did not sign his medical, did all these statements. In the end, he signed it, which I think is an absolute waste of time. Apparently, Joan Laporta went to his house to talk to him, all that stuff. It was the first time that I've seen the captain do the speech for Joan Gamper in my life, where he actually had a paper notes to read off of. Every time I've seen, whether it was Iniesta, Busi, who did I see back in the day, Puyol, all these, legendary captains, I saw him go off the dome, say what you gotta say. He's the first one where I saw had notes prepared. He basically said like, oh yes, the school club and I had some differences, but now everything's, all worked out, all sunshine and rainbows. So it is what it is. I think in the end he will leave. We're probably looking at more so January now that we are this transfer window. But it is one to watch out for. The reaction of the fans was mixed. You heard some boos, some cheers. I would say more so cheers than boos, for being honest, but I think it's a little bit embarrassing. Of course, him and João Garcia both walking out with the number 1 on their back as if we're at a fucking circus at this point. I don't know what the club are doing. They're kind of playing it by ear because Ter Stegen kind of has as much power as they do. He is on a pretty long-term contract. They kind of need him to sign off the medical reports and stuff like that. So it is what it is. And Flick did his speech in Spanish. I could not believe it. I had goosebumps. It was absolutely gas. So Joan Gamper was okay on the match itself. What a show. We missed a lot of chances. We still dominated the play. I don't even think Como really had a chance at goal. They actually did, where João Garcia made an unbelievable save that would have went right through Ter Stegen's legs with his eyes closed. But on the starting lineup, it was João Garcia in goal, Kounde starting at right back, Araujo, Cubarsí, Balde, midfield 3, Pedri, De Jong, Fermín, almost out injured, front 3, Rashford up top, Lamine, and Rafa. So Rashford got the go ahead against Fran. I think Fran is coming back from a bit of a knock. Eric Garcia starting ahead of Kounde. Interesting. Probably the rest of that is probably our best lineup to start the season. I want to first talk about the strikers, Rashford and Ferran. Both missed absolute sitters in this game. And that's a bit of a worry for me, especially with Lewandowski going to be out for the first month. Probably will be out until the first international break as a precaution. So that's going to suck. But one of Ferran or Rashford will have to take their chance. We'll wait and see. Rashford got to go ahead in this game because I think Ferran was a bit not 100% because of course he did not play that final preseason game in Asia against Daegu, so that kind of made a little bit of sense there. But they both missed big chances. Their hold-up play was okay. Ferran was much more considerate, got that, of course, assist for that world-class Lamine Yamal goal. But that's going to be, I think, a big question mark going to start the season. I really like Fermín in this game. Oh my god, Fermín is absolutely cracked. I have a little bit of a hot take here where I think that Fermín at this rate, with almost inconsistency in terms of his injury, can definitely hone in on that starting 10 spot. Of course, Olmo is a better player. Everyone and their moms know that. But with the consistency of Fermín, where you don't want to break it, like we saw with Szczesny last season when Ter Stegen kind of came back in, I think we could see something like that this season if Fermín keeps playing at this level. He was absolutely sensational in this game. Rafa, bit of decision-making, worry for him. He had a chance in the first half. I think he should have scored, but took 5,000 touches. Still got his goal in the end. It was a tap-in, but still got his goal. Got the assist, I think, for Lamine's tap-in as well. Apart from the Lamine tap-in, his other one, the one-time shot from the Ferran Torres assist was absolutely sensational. I think both of Fermín and Lopez's goals were probably the 2 best goals, and an absolutely emphatic performance. I think the defense was pretty solid as well. We had a few, kicks and nicks in this game. I saw Balde go down a bit, Eric Garcia as well, which was a bit concerning. Hopefully, we do go into the season somewhat fit. Of course, Araujo got that cut on his, I think, right eyebrow as well. But shout out to the team. I think they're really performing at a great level at the start of this season. I think João Garcia was immense again. That 1v1 save from that player he went quite easily through those 3 Barca defenders. I think he went through Cubarsí, Araujo, and someone else, but that was quite poor defending. But that's where you want your goalkeepers from. You know that as a Barcelona goalkeeper, you're going to get 1, 2 at most. I would say on a consistent basis, 3 clear-cut chances, and you need to turn up and do your absolute best, and that's what Joan Garcia did. I think Ter Stegen would not have said that. I think that probably went through Ter Stegen's legs, or probably over his legs with his eyes closed. That's what I think would have happened. But yeah, I think that the main thing to look for in this game is, of course, the fitness and sharpness of the team. It is at an all-time high. I'm very, very looking forward to start the season this weekend against Mallorca. It's going to be a tough game away from home, of course, against a good team as well. The stadium was okay. I mean, just get me back to the fucking Camp Nou at this point, man. I've had enough of these flip-flopping stadiums, 6,000 capacity for Joan Gamper. Of course, we won the Joan Gamper, which is nice. I've only seen Barcelona lose 2 Joan Gampers in my life, last season against Monaco and in 2012 against Sampdoria. It was nice to get back to winning ways in terms of the Joan Gamper, but really pretty good performance. I really like Frankie and Pedri in that double pivot as well. We saw Gavi came in, brought that energy. I like Casal's performance as well. The kind of late substitutions were kind of, they didn't have much time, like Dro, Gerard Martin, and Lamine Yamal came in late as well. Didn't really have a strong impact or any, influence on this game. But I do think that this team is ready to start the season. It really comes down to 5 moments, injuries, consistency, mentality as well. I think in terms of quality, the team is definitely at its best in terms of the players that we currently have. Of course, signing players will make it better. When Balde went down, I did shit myself thinking, damn, we need to sign a fullback. I mean, this is how when Eric Garcia and Balde both went down, I'm thinking we are one injury away from this back line being cooked. Like, I do not want to see Araujo play right back at consistent basis. I barely rely and trust him at center back. So I think there is one more signing needed this window, and it has to be somewhat of a defender, center back, right back, or left back, because the team is so versatile. You can just chop and change either way. But it's something important not to see Christensen start as well. I think him and Kounde would be an absolutely elite defensive pairing, but it looks like Flick is going to trust with, going to go ahead, should I say, sorry, with Araujo and Kounde to start the season. But I think a couple of mistakes from Araujo, maybe Kounde as well. I think things can definitely change. But I do think there's a defensive side needed. I think it's an absolute must. I think if we don't make it, we're going to shit ourselves. Probably, drop points in the first half season. Then in the winter, we're going to do it anyways. I can read Barcelona like a book. So I think we have to make somewhat of a defensive side. I think there's an argument for, all 3. I think you're probably looking, in my opinion, more left back and center back. Make one there, and I think you're pretty much good to go. But overall, very satisfied with the performance. I think the results emphatic as well. You want to give your home fans that 5-0 victory, winning Joan Gamper friendly, making it somewhat relevant to them as well. A positive display in performance. I really don't think Barcelona really put a foot wrong in this game from what I watched. Anyways, I think every player played at a fantastic level, even the substitutes that came in a little bit earlier on in the game as well. But I think the main stand-up performer in this game for me, looking at Lamine, Pedri, Frankie, love Kounde, Joan Garcia in this game. I think we're at a really, really good level. It just comes down now, like I said, to consistency, mentality, and preventing injuries. But overall, the night was pretty good. Even the speeches as well were very strong from both Ter Stegen and Flick. Ter Stegen got, those mixed reviews. What else from the presentation did I forget? Rooney Bargi, number 19. Rashford, came out, blah, blah, blah. I think Ter Stegen and Joan Garcia both wearing number 1 is such an embarrassing look. Looks like a fucking child's club. I really don't like that. But I think I pretty much covered everything. Of course, in the comments down below, let me know your thoughts on the performance, your, pre-Joan Gamper drama as well. Ter Stegen, Joan Garcia having the same number, the speech as well. Your thoughts on Rooney Bargi getting a first team number already, probably going to be in the first team. Kounde getting number 5. And of course, mainly your thoughts on the match itself as well. Let me know your one positive and your one maybe concern heading to the start of this La Liga season this weekend against Mallorca. Drop a like if you did enjoy, and subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care. Barca.